Welcome back to the Sneak This Podcast, your weekly podcast on sneaker culture, sports, and other nonsense. This is your guy Ryan, along with the homies Greg and George. Follow us on Twitter at @the_SneakDis. Get at us on our Instagram at @TheSneakDis. Follow us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher, or find the podcast streaming on YouTube or the website, which is updated daily, thesneakdis.com. Now, to the Sneak Dis.
Follow us or else.
Yo, episode 7 of the Sneak Dis. Back in the building, you got Greg. I'm with the GM, General Manager George Martin.
Hey.
Ryan isn't here today, missing in action, but
Shout out to Simple.
hopefully he's back next week. Have to see. Taking care of some business. Any pickups?
Yeah.
What you buy?
What did I get? Oh, yeah, the Supreme 98.
Did those come in?
Tomorrow. Supreme
color did you
98, all black ones. I just clicked on the quickest thing I could find.
You panicked.
Because I honestly wasn't even attempting to buy them, and saw on Twitter like, oh, Supreme comes out 10 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. I was like, all right, I might as well click on it, see what happens. I figured all the computer bots would eat them up. And I guess from what Simple says, because he knows somebody who has a couple of them, they didn't get anything. So I don't know if Supreme eliminated it, at least for one release, or not. But
I didn't even try. It didn't even cross my mind. I completely forgot about it. I didn't know anything about it until you guys started texting about getting your pairs. But I wouldn't try. I mean, I kind of wanted them, but not enough to try. How much were they?
$175 and 10 shipping.
Oh, I guess that's not bad. I thought they were like 200 retail.
No, it's not bad.
Oh, that ain't too bad. What does Simple get? The snakeskin?
He got the snake skins. So I was refreshing before 11, obviously, which is from what I've been told. That's how the only way you can buy on Supreme is you got to catch stuff at like 10:59. West Coast time, obviously. 10:58 or 10:59 because stuff goes up like a little bit before 11. I don't know. So I was refreshing 2 minutes before, and it popped up. And then I hit refresh again like a dummy because 1 second make a big difference, obviously. So I clicked on the snakeskin, add the 12, click check out, and it said it was all sold out. So I was like, all right, well, that probably means they're all sold out. So I was like, well, just try the next one. Clicked on it because the snakeskin was the first one that popped up, and there was 4 of them next to each other on the screen. So clicked it, snakeskin size 12 was already sold out. So I tried the very next one, which was the black one. Size 12, added to the cart, checked out. Click check out. It was in the cart. So I was like, all right, we'll see what happens. And I guess Supreme kind of does like a cart reserve because typed the credit card number in wrong the first time, typed it in again, and it checked out. So got lucky.
Have you ever had on Supreme where it didn't go in the cart? Every time I've ever tried to buy on Supreme, it always goes in the cart, but I've never actually purchased off of there.
I don't know.
Like when the 5s came out, I got in the cart piece of cake. I thought I was going to cop, and then that was it. They were done. So
on that release, I had no idea.
I always get it in the cart, but I don't know. I've never had the drive to just buy on Supreme. I just always was like, it got to the point to where I just thought it was just impossible. It was just like, no way. It got so hard on Nike. I figured like, why even bother with the Supreme?
All the bots were eating the pairs, eating everything up on Supreme, t-shirts, shoes, whatever, for a long time. So I think that's why people were surprised that nothing went through this time. Oh, kind of weird.
Did I get anything this week? I don't think I did.
Oh, and I caught some hats too from that sale.
Off Supreme?
Nah, from that sale I was telling you about, Fans Edge.
Oh, I forgot to go on there.
25% off. Cop some LA Kings snapback, and I copped you a University of Arizona snapback.
Yeah, right. Talking about the one right there you wearing?
No, another one. I've had this for a while. That stuff comes in tomorrow too. Two-day shipping.
Out here spending that money.
Courtesy of Shop Runner. 25% off, and I needed a Navy hat and I needed a Kings hat snapback, so it worked out.
Need is a strong word.
Well,
What's coming out this week?
So there's a couple things coming out tomorrow. That Pharrell pack. There's a slip-on.
Does that
And a
come out
lace-up
tomorrow? Oh,
one.
what did it? I thought it came out today.
Tomorrow. What's today?
Oh, well,
4th,
that must have
right?
been like
Cinco de Mayo. That's tomorrow, isn't it? Or is it today? Am I retarded?
tomorrow. Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, so there's some goofy KD coming out that looks like those duck shoes that he wore that one time. Ain't nobody copping that. The Pharrell slip-ons and then the lace-ups. There's a LeBron coming out. Trash. There's also a Pharrell called Pharrell Elastic Multicolor. I'm sure that'll sell out.
I don't think anybody's copying anything. You think they're buying these? They look awful. I mean, they don't look awful, but
I mean,
just
I don't think
regular.
anyone will buy like the Rod Laver green and white colors, but someone might probably just buy that multicolor just because it's multicolor. I don't know.
It doesn't suck. I mean, 105 is pretty cheap.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. You're paying half what you pay for some shoes. And then, so the Kobe 11 Tinker Muse is coming out.
That's whack.
I think they're actually kind of clean, but I just love that model with the fly net. But
I mean,
I wouldn't
they're
pay.
cool,
I
but
wouldn't pay
$200
$200 for that. Yeah, ain't no way.
Like, that's an outlet cop. Like, you'd get for 110. All right, but
Yeah, good luck finding them for that. And then on the 6th, which is what, Friday, those EQT running support 93s that you were talking about a couple weeks ago, those come out. Oddity Lux.
that on foot picture that guy had, or whoever that was, those were awful on him.
There was another picture that looked better.
They're
I
on
didn't
Oneness
send
right
that
now.
one, but oh really?
I mean, like, just the pictures and everything. They look okay. I don't know.
I thought the on foot picture looked pretty dope, but 150. If it's not a boost, I ain't paying for it. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm not paying anywhere past 120 if it's not boosted.
And then there's Curry's Mother's Day. Yeah, can't even speak. Curry's Mother's Day shoe Part 2 coming out.
First of all, if you go make a shoe that's like a representation of Mother's Day, I understand like the colors being the representation of Mother's Day, but I feel like if I'm gonna make a shoe that's like for my Mother's Day, she should be able to wear it. She can't wear those boots. All right, those suck. All right,
No one can wear those boots.
like the only
Except
person that
Steph
could
Curry
wear
in the
those
game.
are Steph Curry. All right,
And 6'9" female players.
that's it. All right. What about those low nines?
Yeah, I was just about to say bright mango low 9s. I saw somewhere online someone or one of the stores tweeted about raffle this or raffle that or something. I said,
You're doing a
"There's doing
raffle for those?"
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, right.
In-store raffle for
Nah,
Jordans.
those.
That's what it said.
I mean, they don't look awful. I mean, you know, Simple's buying.
It's probably the best looking 9 I've ever seen, but I've never owned a 9 because I just think 9s suck everything.
I
But
think olive green nines are still the best. I mean, they're okay. You know, Simple's buying. Like, I know he's buying that for
I
something.
don't see why not. He loves low 9, low everything, low 9s, low 8s, low whatever he bought last time. Low 9s, right? Yeah, the
Them black ones. He got
cement
those
and
black
whatever.
ones.
Yeah. Probably don't even need to mention them. 2K4 Yukons, but those are coming out. There's another floral KD8 coming out. EXT.
Sucks.
There's a retro 10 Jordan 10 coming out. It looks like it's a women's pair called the Harris.
Eris.
Whatever, Harris, however you pronounce it.
I don't think they're still making KD8s. Jesus.
I think that's the number they're on, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
Oh, the next shoe's not out. I mean, it's playoffs. I mean,
well,
playoffs.
yeah, but I mean, like, you have the Elite coming out. Like, the Elite is $200, and this low top is $200. Shouldn't the Elite be like?
Well, it's an EXT. That's why.
Oh,
I mean, either way, it sucks, but it's EXT.
man, get that trash out of here. Is that supposed to be like the Mother's Day version, or Pearl?
No, the On Pearl on that already came out a long time
Did it?
ago.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
a
guess
long
so.
time ago.
F those. Those suck.
Yes, they do.
We'll probably
And
talk about
then
that a little bit later.
The Air Jordan 10 Rio is coming out. They suck big time.
Those suck. And I actually see people on Twitter like, "Yo, anybody can help me get my hands on these?"
Super duper suck.
Trash. They're like kids.
And it looks like that's it. There's one thing on here about a Air Force One high, but who cares about that except Simple when he's at the outlets. You should have seen how many Air Forces and what are those other ones called? The ones he wore?
Which ones? Oh,
The ones he wore Saturday.
them trainers,
Yeah.
shadow trainers,
Yeah,
whatever those
he,
joints
he
is.
bought about 4 pairs of those and about 3 or 4 pairs of Air Force Ones. I said, why are you buying that? Because it's $20. I mean,
The value of money has like,
put that back.
hey man, he said he bought
So, anyways, that's Ryan's pickups for the week.
Yeah, these are Ryan's pickups. And all these releases, most of these releases are Ryan releases. So,
actually, I did pick some stuff up this weekend while shopping. I got some new Nike golf shorts, the ones with like the elastic in them. Those are the best ones. You could put them on and lounge like they're like hoop shorts, basically. And then I finally got those gray trainer shorts. Like, I would wear them to hoop, but they're actually like the Nike training material. Finally got those ones. I had a bunch of different colors. Instantly favorite shorts by far.
I don't know. I can't think of anything. I feel like I bought something this week, but I don't think so. Anyways, I think
it was friends and family weekend at the outlet, so it went a little crazy.
I don't understand why. Oh, I was sick all weekend. That's why I haven't bought nothing. I'm sick. My voice sounds a little funny. It's because I'm definitely sick.
It's funny, all right.
And actually, I need to blow my nose.
Well, anyways, shout out to Semple, all his pickups.
Oh, shit.
Well, I guess we can cut this part out.
I'm definitely cutting this out. I have no choice. But anyway, so NFL draft just happened. Obviously, me being a Cowboys fan, Simple being a Cleveland fan, and George being a Raiders fan.
Hey,
It's pretty much who we focused on, that we watched, we paid most attention to. You happy with your picks the Raiders made?
yeah, for the most part. Had a couple issues with players who were still on the board when they picked and whatnot, but it is what it is. They got some spots on the roster they had to fill, and that's what they did. They went for, it might have been a couple reaches, but they went for spots they had to fill as opposed to like just taking like the number one talent on the board or whatever, at least till the fourth round.
What was your grade overall?
Different websites had different things, but Kuiper's was a B+. The one that I care about the most was Pro Football Focus, because I think they do the best job grading things. I think they also had it in the B range somewhere. They did like the first pick. They loved the third round pick, and they did like Connor Cook as well. So I love the third round pick. I think they got great value with Shalik Calhoun from Michigan State. I think that's going to be big time, especially with the rookie they picked in the second round last year, Mario Edwards. What?
Well, yeah, I like that pick. What are you going to do with him?
Well, the rookie they picked in the second round last year, Mario Edwards, who had a really good season, hurt his neck near the end of the season, one of the last couple of weeks, and they don't know the prognosis. At least they're not releasing any information to media, fans, whatever. So at the end of the season, it was bad. Could almost be like career-threatening type thing. So they're probably just shoring that up. But Calhoun's just, my thing is, if you're the Patriots or you're the Seahawks or something like that, you can afford to like reach up early to get someone who fills a need. But when you're a team like the Raiders, and granted, a lot of people are, it's a trendy pick to win the division or whatever. People got them going to the playoffs. But when you need to add a lot of talent, you don't have the ability, in my opinion, to reach in certain areas. Like when they were at 14, they picked a guy they probably could have traded down to 20 and pick. Now, granted, you need a trade partner. There's no doubt about that. You can't just magically pull a second or third round pick out of thin air. But it's all about value to me for a franchise like the Raiders. Unless you're ready-made product where you can add one guy and boom, turn it into the championship team, you need to add as much talent and in the right spaces as possible. I mean, if they could have added another second or third round pick, imagine they could have got another great player who went somewhere else.
I mean, you guys definitely didn't go offense like you guys usually do. I was expecting you guys to draft some wide receivers or something, but I don't know, man. You don't think you guys win the division?
Well, definitely trending upwards. Denver's got issues at quarterback. San Diego's terrible.
Awful.
KC's probably always going to be tough as long as Andy Reid is there. You know what I mean? They don't have great quarterback play, but they got a lot of good players in spots. They rush the passer really well. They picked the kid they picked in the first round, the corner last year, is making a ton of plays.
I hate the fact that the Chiefs are like always like gonna be in the playoffs because they're never gonna do anything. They're never gonna go anywhere. Like, I hate that. Like, the Chiefs are one of those teams that's gonna forever be on one of those like list of like I don't trust teams, like the Falcons, and like I hate when they do good or have those seasons. And the Chiefs has like one of those years every single year where it's like, ooh, can the Chiefs be beat? And then they get put out the first round of somebody like the Texans or Colts or somebody. I don't know. I hate that. I mean, I think you're probably right about the Chiefs. I think at some point Andy Reid is going to probably wear out his welcome there. Maybe. I don't know. He might not stay as long as he did in Philadelphia, but, I mean, they're winning. Their defense is great.
Yeah, he always wears his welcome out no matter where he is, but it takes a long time. So he was successful in Philly. They went to the Super Bowl. They lost, obviously, when Donovan McNabb was throwing up all over the field. But he did get them there, and they've been good since he's been in. I mean, they were awful the year before he got there in Kansas City, from what I remember. I mean, maybe that was his first year. I can't remember. But they were one of the worst teams in the league. And next year, they're, if not in the playoffs, they were 10-6 or something like that.
And they definitely drafted a lot of defensive players. I don't know. I see the Raiders winning the division this year. If Carr can improve, and I mean the defense. I mean I'm a little the D line. You guys had a few people retire. Didn't Justin Tuck retire?
Justin Tuck did retire. He's going to sign a one-day contract with the Giants to retire as a Giant, which makes sense.
Should. I don't know. I just see the Raiders as like they're going up very fast. I mean, the Chargers, I think the Chargers had a good draft. They didn't have a bad one. They got a lot of people on defense, but, I mean, I think they drafted, like, their first pick was, like, what, from USC?
Chargers?
Who did they draft first?
No, I can't
Ohio
remember.
State?
Yeah, Joey Bosa.
Bosa, which I don't trust either. I look
Bosa
at Bosa
Donuts.
I look at Bosa as, like, homeboy that was the bust that got drafted to the Seahawks, I think, way back in the day.
Who?
Super buff. Can't even think of his name. I mean, he was just
Bosworth.
Bosworth. That's all I can think of when I look at him. And I don't think Bosa had a good combine. I don't think his combine was that good. But hey, he can come out there and play. He can play different on the field. But I look at them as like, see what he can do. See if he can find a spot.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Phillip Rivers wasn't very happy with the pick, but I mean, hey,
What did
he probably want.
What did he want?
I would imagine offensive line help or wide receiver or something. I mean, the only guy I can think of on their offense is the kid who went to Cal, the wide receiver, number 13. I can't even think of his name now. He's good, but I can't think of anyone else they have. Our offensive line probably mediocre. I mean, they were terrible last year. They were terrible last year. And who's the running back? Didn't they? Oh yeah, Melvin Gordon.
Funny.
Melvin Gordon's gonna be pretty good, I think.
I don't know. He was kind of disappointing last year. He had a couple moments where I thought like, all right, he might be okay. And I think he got hurt.
Yeah.
At some point.
Everyone in San Diego who runs that rock gets hurt.
But last year,
Tomlinson.
But last year, the Chargers I think were like considered like a sleeper pick. Like I thought they were going to be better than they were. They were trash cans. Like I thought they were going to be.
For the last couple, I mean, they almost with Rivers. They almost got into that thing where like people are picking Buffalo as the fancy pick every single year. Like Chris Berman, I think, still picks Buffalo to win the division every year, even though New England's been dominant for a decade. It was almost like that. Like people were just picking San Diego because it was like one year they were 14-2 or something and had the greatest peripheral stats in the league, where it was like, they led the league by net yardage or whatever the stats that I love all those kind of stats, by the way, but I don't have them in front of me. But they led it in all the peripheral type stats, so people were like, "Oh, look out for San Diego, underdog," and then they duked themselves. I mean, that year they went 14-2 or whatever it was, they were trash in the playoffs. I think they lost to the Patriots at home.
Was that year?
And that was when Tomlinson was all
Patriots?
upset,
maybe
walking off the field.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was with San Diego.
Was
San Diego was
England?
home, and they lost to New England. Yeah, the Pats. What did I say?
I'm thinking of
I
like
thought
the
I said
Ravens or
Pats.
Jets, but I think it is Pats. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I don't know. Chargers is on that list of teams I don't trust. There's a lot of teams on that list like I never trust.
What about the Cowboys?
Cowboys did pretty good. Everybody was upset about Ezekiel Elliott being the first pick. I think I wasn't upset. I'm more upset like how awful our DBs are every year. And I think I get it because I think like Carr is one of the worst DBs on earth to me. Like, and we keep giving him money and keep signing him. And I think our best DB right now is Skandrick, and he was hurt last year. But I don't think he's that good. Like, I think he's just the best one that we have. And obviously, homeboy out of
Well, if Jalen Smith, if his knee is okay,
now,
he'll be one of the steals of the draft.
He's definitely not going to play.
Well, he's not going to play this year. But if his knee is okay,
and
him and Jack, if those two guys' knees are okay, they're the two steals of the draft, and it's not even close.
I feel like
Jalen Smith was a top 5 pick before he tore his ACL.
Great pick. He tore that in the game?
Yeah,
in the bowl
game. Yeah.
I think that's a great pick, but I just don't know. I mean, considering how hurt Sean Lee gets every single year, and last year was probably his healthiest year. I think he played 14 games, maybe. He might have played. No, he played about 14, maybe a little less than that. We definitely need that help, and something on defense is definitely what we always need on defense. But I don't know. I was a little bit shocked by it. But back to Elliott, I wasn't upset that we got Elliott. I was just really hoping that we got Ramsey from
Florida State.
From Florida State. But I can see why we need a running back. I mean, we got Randall who can't stay out of trouble. He's gone. But and then obviously Murray's been gone for like a year now. He's in Tennessee right now. And then we brought in Oakland guy, McFadden. And I think McFadden wasn't bad last year. He was just underused. And I don't know if they underused him in the fear of the fact that he might get hurt. But if there was any year to use him, would have been last year. We were awful. We had nothing going on. We had every single star player hurt. I mean, we just didn't have nothing. We had nothing going on. So I think if it's like, you know what, we got McFadden, let's see what we can do with him. We should run him in the ground. But he just sat on the sidelines a lot. All right.
Now, this may be a foolish take down the road, but and this is taking into account that Todd Gurley is also going to be in the league. But in I'll say 5 years, Ezekiel Elliott could be the best running back in the league.
It's a possibility.
Bar none.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, and whoever's listening who is on my who always participates in the fantasy football leagues I'm in, I'm drafting him. All right. I'm going to pick him up. I think he's going to probably be
And you'll probably pick him 7 rounds too early.
I might pick him first. I might throw him. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. I might go and grab.
Out of here.
I might throw a wrench in it.
Man, you guys picked in the 6th.
We did. What did I say?
You guys picked Rico Gathers in the 6th round. I was wondering if he got drafted. The guy who's never played football in his life,
never
but
played ever.
Tight end from. He's gonna try to play tight end from. Played basketball at Baylor for 4 years and was actually a really good player. Averaged a double-double as a junior and almost a double-double as a senior.
I don't even know why we draft other tight ends because we do this every year. We have Escobar, we had Hannah, and then the person we still only throw the ball to is Witten.
Yeah.
He's the only one that seems to get open. He can't do much after the catch. Oh, actually, you know what? He can move a little bit. But we never play Escobar. We never play Hannah. They never get the ball. They never even come in the game. And then we're going to draft a basketball player to see what he can do. And he's another Baylor player. I don't
Yeah, but he didn't play football at Baylor.
He didn't. So, I don't know, man. I mean,
Witten's not going to be around forever. So
he's going to have to be.
you got to replace guys. Just like Romo's not going to be forever. When Tom Brady goes out the league, everybody's going to be in shock. But guess what? It's going to happen at some point. Okay, Dan Marino's out the league. Brett Favre's out the league.
Peyton
Manning is out the league now. Elway's out the league. All these guys are out the league at some point. You can't keep playing in the NFL when you're 175 years old.
Yeah, right? But see, when the Patriots, when Brady goes out of the league, they still have a good sense of organization. Cowboys don't. We have backup plan.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the issue with the Cowboys is some of the front office meddling, and then also the head coach isn't great. The Patriots have great everything, and I'm actually curious if Belichick, once Brady leaves, does Belichick even stay? Maybe he retires too.
I would leave. I would go to wherever the next great thing
like
is.
College, go back to college or something.
I would just wait for an NFL team. Like, there's anywhere he can say he wants a job, they'll get rid of the coach that's in place.
Welcome to Oakland.
Also, Cowboys that got Dak Prescott,
yes.
Which I think is.
I don't know how I feel about that one yet.
I don't know, man.
I'm gonna have to see him do some things on an NFL field before I buy in.
But
he's a very good college player, but I don't know.
I don't know. For some reason, like when I look at certain teams out of college football, like I just don't believe it. I don't believe in players. Like, I mean, he didn't do nothing the year before last, did he? He only played 1 year, right?
No, he played 2 years. They were ranked not this year. The year before they were ranked. Yeah, they were ranked number 1 or number 2.
Right. I don't trust them. I don't trust the Cowboys to actually like say, "Hey, we're gonna groom you to be a backup." Like, we have nothing else. The Cowboys like to get players to just be like, "Here, you're here just in case," and then Romo gets hurt, and then it's like, "Hey, man, you got to play now." Even though we did nothing.
Yeah, but who they have last year though? Didn't they have nonsense?
Well, last year we had Castle, trash.
Oh yeah, he's
and
terrible.
then we had the
Someone worse
oldest
than
rookie
Castle.
ever that got drafted by the Browns.
Brandon
Wheaton.
Wheaton.
I mean, our entire year was trash. All right, that was such a bad year. Gosh, I think when we went to go watch,
And you
Dallas
still
play,
think they're going to the Super Bowl every year?
Okay, considering how bad the division was last year, we could have still got in the playoffs around week 11. I think we still had a chance to get in the playoffs. Every single week, it was like
Cowboys are literally the team that you should never trust, but you're a fan. That's the team that should be number one on your never trust list.
I have no choice. But the Cowboys right now are what the Raiders used to be. Too much ownership involved. And now the Raiders got rid of. Well, I don't say got rid of.
I mean, they're probably fortunate that Mark Davis just doesn't know as much about football as Al Davis did. He's not. Maybe he in
Al Davis
his heart of hearts he thinks he does.
Speed, wide receivers, running around.
Al Davis also has won 3 championships in Oakland and is credited with bringing a lot of the nuance to the game. I mean, the guy deserves a lot of credit, but probably around. I mean, I would say 2002, 2003 because they did go to the bowl that year, but it kind of started even before that, with his obsession with vertical routes. And, I mean, he just drafted based on who performed at the combine. Like, obviously, they made some good picks here and there. He picked Charles Woodson, obviously, and Lincoln Kennedy and a lot of those guys who turned out to be longtime players. Charles Woodson's obviously first ballot Hall of Famer, maybe the best defensive back of all time, at least in our lifetime. So, I mean, he did make some picks that were accurate, but once they went to that Super Bowl and lost, and then obviously there are some ones that stick in my mind, Darius Hayward-Bay and Philip Buchanan, and there's some guys in there who ran 4 threes or 4 twos, and then they're terrible.
Philip Buchanan,
he shouldn't have been a first-round pick.
Okay, maybe not. I actually seen him at Jacksonville.
He played in the league for a while, but yeah.
I seen him at Jacksonville on 3rd, a bar in Arizona, wearing his own jersey. We were like,
I think all the Miami dudes are just weird. Clint Portis is weird. Look at what he used to wear in their interviews.
Person. Yeah, he's a weirdo too.
Willis McGahee is weird too. They're all weird.
He's a weird person. There's people from my
look at Jeremy Shockey, Winslow Jr. They're all wackos.
Frank Gore isn't weird, but
Gore is kind of weird too.
He's kind of weird, but I think he just had a hard life. I think his weird is like
he did have a hard life.
I think his weird might have been like environment. I don't know how to explain it. I don't like seeing him talk. Something about him. He's like a scary looking dude.
He's not the smartest person in the world, if that's what you're getting at.
God, he has a huge head. Anyways.
He's a struggle head.
All right.
In the words of Sneak This staff.
So I think we're all pretty pleased with our draft picks. I mean,
I know Simple is. I am for the most part.
I think Simple is. I think right now the Raiders out of our teams have the best opportunity to do something. I don't really know if my draft picks get us to the playoffs. Our health gets us to the playoffs. Simple, they're just trying to be 500. They're just trying to not suck, all right? And I think they won't be that bad this year. I think they'll be worth watching, all right?
Well, who's on Hard Knocks? Is it the Browns?
Rams?
Maybe I should look it up.
It's not Rams?
I don't remember. That's what
Maybe
I'm asking
you had told us. It's not Jacksonville.
Hard Knocks 2016. Let's see here. It is the Rams back in Los Angeles.
That's right.
Well, that's cool because that means they'll go to some cool places in LA probably.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm sure. I watch no matter what. I watch some teams I don't even care about. Rams at least were there when I was growing up.
They all suck.
Every
single team on Hard Knocks sucks.
I don't know. When they play the Raiders, obviously I want the Raiders to beat the shit out of them, but I don't mind seeing the Rams win. And obviously I'd rather see the Cardinals beat them too, but I kind of have like a soft spot for the Rams, just like the Clippers and
I do,
whoever else.
But I need the Rams,
second team in a city.
I need the Rams to go back to the old Rams uniforms.
Well, hopefully they do.
Fully give back. Or they need to get new uniforms, like something similar to what they used to have. Like, that's the Rams I remember. And, gosh, I think I went to, like, Rams, Chargers. I don't know how old I was. Rams somebody. Man, that stadium was so empty, and it was the hottest day on earth. I remember specifically watching these 2 other guys in the stands playing catch with the football. Like, that's how empty it was and how whack the game was. These other people were playing catch, throwing a football in the stands with each other. But anyways, so are we I guess I'm happy. I just need Romo, Dez, and everybody to stay healthy. We'll get to the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our division is awful anyways. I don't think Eagles got any better. They got the number 2 draft pick, but knowing them, they'll probably ruin him.
Yeah, well, everyone I've seen is predicting them to be awful. I mean,
he came
Sam
out of.
Bradford's terrible. Well, I don't think Wentz is going to be starting. Sam Bradford's going to be starting unless they trade him.
I thought they were going to trade him. I thought he demanded a trade.
I mean, I don't know why he would.
And then, Wentz, I just don't see how you could feel comfortable drafting a guy out of North Dakota to come play in Philadelphia. Like, Philadelphia will boo you even if you're good.
Yeah.
All right.
Booed Santa Claus, booed injured players.
They booed McNabb.
Everyone.
And McNabb was probably their best quarterback ever. Okay.
The Eagles won championships. I don't know if that means they had a better quarterback, but they won at least one championship that I know of when Vermeil was there.
Jaworski win that one?
No, I'm pretty sure Jaworski was awful as a quarterback.
Well, this beef jerky is attacking my character.
The booth is on fire right now.
That beef jerky is attacking my character right now. All right, my stomach is lit.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself when you get home. Actually, you might not even make it home.
I might not. I might have to go back to QT. They got the cleanest bathrooms. Anyway, so Cowboys got to stay healthy. Browns got to not suck. And Raiders just have to make the playoffs. I just don't see how they can. I just don't. Besides injury, I can't see it. Like you said, Broncos, quarterback issues. Chargers, trash. Chiefs, they'll be there. And Raiders, who else in the division?
They got, well, from I didn't look at. Yeah, that's all. That's all. But I didn't look at the.
Texans.
I didn't study the schedule. I know the first 4 games are fairly easy. People are picking them to go start 3-1 or 4-0 possibly. So if they do that, you got to get off to a good start. I mean, if you don't get off to a good start, we all know the stats about being 0-2 or 0-3 in the NFL. Your chances of making the playoffs are basically nil.
Every single game counts in the NFL.
Yes.
Every single one.
And it stinks in here.
Hey. You wanted to go stop and buy beef jerky. I haven't had some beef jerky in about 3 years.
That might be some cake.
No, that'd be.
One of our buddies won. What's that? What are those machines called?
Heat box.
Yeah, heat locker.
Heat locker.
One of our buddies won over at Pound for Pound. I guess their first winner. He only put $5 in and won. So lucky man got Supreme Foams. I don't know. I still don't know how the machines work.
I've never seen it work.
He said you actually can pick which one you try for, which makes sense because you don't want to win some random stuff. But I was like, how does it work? He was like, I don't even know.
But who said that?
Kevin.
Oh, you talked to him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, when I picked those coupons up.
Wait, so he said he didn't know how it worked?
I mean, he couldn't explain to me what he said. He just put the money in and was like, picked what you wanted, and then boop, yeah, there's your thing.
Wait a minute. So there's no joystick?
I don't think so. That's what I don't understand. It's not like that grabber game where the
I thought it was like
down.
this. I thought
it might be. I don't know.
Well, you know what's funny is when we was
just sounded like random chance to me. Like, I don't know why you would pay money for that.
When we were at Heated Soul Summit, we were sitting right next to one,
yeah.
And I never looked at it. I never looked to see anybody try. I have no idea what you're gonna do. Well, I guess we could bring that up too. Pound for Pound. Phoenix grand opening is having a party this weekend.
Yeah.
Anybody in Arizona listening to the Sneak Disc podcast?
Come
on out.
In their new shop, which is about double the size of the old shop,
and it's right next to the old one, right?
Yeah, it's just east down the same street, like probably 3 or 4 doors.
So I think they're having a party, grand opening, music, food, drinks from 6 to 10.
First Friday, people.
First Friday. So I'm gonna be in there. Stop by for a couple hours. I don't know if George can make it. I don't know. So, if you can't stop by, but I'm probably going to go in there and I'm probably going to try the heat locker, I guess. If there's a line to it, I'm not going to try because I'll get very angry. I don't see how people could sit in line for that.
I don't think I can put more than $5 in.
I don't think I could.
If it's
$5 is a lot. I get frustrated if I put in a quarter at the grab machine. And considering how hard it is, I mean, first of all, I would have to ask, which one you have a 9.5 in. Because from what I understand, I thought, you had to keep what you got.
I think you have to, unless maybe they can swap it out for you.
What Ryan said that Napier said is that, let's say if they have multiple, so if they put, a Jordan, a flu game in there, and they got a full-size run, and the one in the machine is an 11, you can say, hey, I wear a 10. They'll swap it out for that, which is cool. All right. But obviously, if you go in there and try to grab a Yeezy 2, and you win it, they might not have your size and back for a Yeezy 2. So I don't know. I'm definitely gonna try it out. Go in there and see what's up. Pound for pound, have me a hat ready so I could cop. So I caught my first pound for pound hat. Anyway, so list this week we're doing top 10 movies.
Wait, hold on. We need to talk about this real quick.
Well, what?
Your girl Skylar Diggins just got a PE.
You know, I've seen that.
And maybe you want to talk about that with this, like,
it's not bad.
Sports.
It's not a bad. I mean,
maybe you want to talk about it with the sponsor list, but I don't know. I just feel like we need to say the words Skylar Diggins.
You always got to bring up Skylar Diggins. Skylar Diggins is probably the best looking woman in the WNBA. She might be the best looking woman in sports. Possibly.
I mean, I think I would agree with this or disagree with the second one, but it's a toss up.
I don't know.
It's close.
But I don't even know if that's a PE. I thought it was like a Mother's Day thing.
No, it says PE. Congrats to her, by the way.
Who she play for? Tulsa?
No, the whatever team she played for, I think disbanded or something. Now it's like some team in Dallas. I saw pictures today from.
What?
Yeah, it's like an expansion team. Or
so
something.
Was the San Antonio team still in Texas? Because they had like the San Antonio Stars.
I mean, they used to win the championship. Well, at least a couple times.
So the Tulsa team couldn't stay together in Oklahoma?
I don't know if it was Tulsa. I thought it was Detroit, but maybe the Detroit team moved to Tulsa, and then now they're.
Because Detroit, what's his name? Daughter used to play. Carmelone's daughter played on Detroit.
But whatever.
I forgot Detroit had a team at one point. I don't remember what they were called.
Whatever jersey she had on today was
I haven't even
Dallas.
seen it.
Yeah, Dallas Wings.
Oh. Well.
So yeah, it looks like the Tulsa Shock turned.
That's funny.
I mean, not that it matters to me. I'll be honest with you, and I hate to say that, but yeah.
We're gonna talk about that.
I just had to bring that up because she got a PE, which is pretty dope. Because I don't know if any other players had one. I mean, I know Cheryl Swoops had one back in the day.
Lisa
Taurasi doesn't even have one. Taurasi wears LeBron.
Well,
I mean, it's a LeBron PE. But so
she's had a few
Diggins has her
shoes.
own shoe, like
no,
Kyrie
that's not her
or
own
whatever.
Shoe.
Are you sure?
No, that shoe is the one that Draymond Green wears. That like big Nike swoosh come
I don't
across
think
the top.
So. You sure about that?
Yeah, no, those are. I mean, I seen those at Finish Line. Like those are just
the Zoom Hyper Rev PE. Yeah, I guess so.
And like the strap goes like across the top.
Oh, all right. I thought she got her own shoe then.
Oh no,
this
no,
right
no.
here. That other players wear that.
Yeah, I mean, Draymond Green wears that all the time. That's what he plays in. That might be considered his shoe.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I know that shoe is not like hers.
Oh, that releases this weekend as well on May 7th.
What?
So I guess we should have brought that up earlier. Yeah. Here's another one too. Nike and Adidas is going to pitch their deals to Ben Simmons this week.
I thought he already signed to Adidas.
This was 4 hours ago. So as of 4 hours ago, he had not.
You know, man,
talk about
that could be another topic too. That could be another topic too, because it wouldn't even be a contest.
Holy cow! They're saying he can make $100 million. Really? Who's buying a Ben Simmons shoe? $100 million?
I mean,
who is buying? All right, I'm just saying. I'm not, unless it's the freshest looking thing I've ever seen in my entire life, and he just brought in like.
But I'm sure he won't even get a
super
shoe.
dope designers. I don't. Why would he get $100 million?
And you know what?
Deal?
We might have to talk about that with this because.
Okay.
Because I mean, like a Andrew Wiggins, did he get like how much did he get from Adidas?
I doubt it was $100 million. I'm sure it was a lot, but I doubt it was $100 million. I don't even think. Does he even have his own shoe silhouette? I don't think so.
No, but he plays in crazy lights boosts. He plays in like what Harden plays in.
Oh, then no, he doesn't have his own shoe.
But he has like the PE, his own PE.
Right.
I don't know. I just look at giving somebody like a Ben Simmons that much money right off the bat. It's ridiculous. Like you haven't even given James Harden a signature shoe yet. And like when you go to Nike, like I was just thinking,
he can't get a signature shoe. Ben Simmons was a great player. He averaged a double and I think had a couple triple doubles or something. He's a great player, but he's not. All right, yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you, but he's not iconic. He's not LeBron. He's not selling shoes. No one's buying. No one's clamoring for a Ben Simmons shoe.
The only way that somebody could have been like, man, I would like a Ben Simmons sneaker is if they were good enough to get in the NCAA tournament and do something. If we can't watch you in college basketball more, because nobody was watching. I mean, if you were specifically looking to check out Ben Simmons, you might watch, all right? And obviously, analysts and everybody else was checking out Ben Simmons. But, like, I wasn't looking for an LSU game. I was never checking
I mean,
for
I
it.
did on purpose to see him play
just
the first
to see him
time.
play.
And
that was it.
Yeah.
But if no one sees you in March, that's when you get seen. Like, ooh, I could see his game is similar to LeBron, but he doesn't look. He looks careless to me. Like, but the fact that, anyways, but back to like what you had brought up, the fact that like even an Adidas,
He has no business getting $100 million. I'm sorry.
No, he shouldn't. All right. The fact
Does
that
Anthony Davis even get $100 million from Nike?
That's the thing.
Like-
That's the thing. Like, he doesn't even have a signature shoe. You got him. Dirk Nowitzki has never had a signature shoe, ever.
Paul
All right.
George, does he get $100 million? And Paul George had it, and season was on fire.
Amazing. All right, considering he came back from the inside of his leg coming to the outside, like amazing year. But are they making that money? Is Kyrie Irving making that money?
Kyrie probably is because he's actually selling a silhouette,
No.
but the other guys, I
Durant
doubt.
is making that, and I can see that.
Oh, absolutely.
But
He's
his
probably
shoes are
making double
whack.
that.
All right, yeah,
He
might be.
but he
making
just
that.
signed, a couple years ago that new deal, maybe last year. And I'm sure I don't think you put Jordan Brand on this list. And again,
No,
we'll talk
I
about it
didn't.
later. But
Which
I think Russ
was
is
kinda
probably
hard.
also getting $100 million from Nike. I would be surprised if he's not, because there's no way Russ would sell more shoes than. Like, granted, he has his own lifestyle shoe, but he would sell more shoes
He
than
has his
Simmons
own
ever
lifestyle as well.
will. Well, there might be a couple of them actually with that lifestyle.
So you know what? Funny, I didn't put. You know, we're gonna talk about this because I didn't put Jordan Brand on the list because I kind of felt like all of Jordan Brand athletes are better than all of them. Their shoes are trash.
I mean, not all of them, but yeah,
Yeah,
their
Kawhi Leonard,
roster is very good.
Russell Westbrook, Blake Griffin,
Yeah, Chris Paul.
LaMarcus Aldridge, Chris Paul. That roster
Yeah,
is
Melo.
mellow. that roster is better than
Get the fuck out of here, Melo.
Carmelo Anthony is good.
All
All
right.
right, he's not going to
If
lead
we
your
did
team
this
anywhere.
podcast 4 years ago, I would agree with you.
He's okay. He got hurt last year, and he was coming back. Trying to work his way back in this year. But Carmelo Anthony is still a star.
He might as well be
and
named
good.
LaMelo. All right.
Hey, he's good. that Jordan Brand lineup is better than
it's
anybody
good.
else.
Well, I don't know if it's better. I mean, your team with LeBron and KD is probably going to beat that team, but and Anthony Davis. But I'm just saying, like,
Anthony
if you're talking
Davis
about,
is.
like,
I don't believe in Anthony Davis.
What?
I do. No, I believe in him. I don't believe him to stay on the court. He can't stay. He got hurt this year.
He doesn't have a reason to stay on the court right now. His team is whack.
Okay.
All right.
He doesn't have a reason to stay on the court. Anyways, we'll talk about this.
Yeah,
we
we'll
got to
talk
talk
about
about
this
this
later.
next week. We
I
have
want to talk about this other thing
All
because
right.
I'm excited. But I don't think we should do all 10. We need to do like 5 and then 5 and 5 and 5 or something like that.
How many do you have?
No. 5, like 5, 5, 5, 5.
Okay,
I
fine.
do 5, you do 5. Yeah.
Okay, fine. From
So-
the bottom up?
Yes, but first, like I told you, I need some honorary mention here. Some honorable
Fine.
mentions.
Say some honorable mentions.
Some honorable
'Cause
mentions
I have some honorable mentions too.
some honorable mentions that did not make it in the list that are some of my favorite movies of all time. So, or not, well, actually probably, yeah, favorite movies of all time, yes. So Saving Private Ryan, Tommy Boy, and these are movies, actually we probably should talk about the topic first. The topic is movies released in the 90s. All right, so Saving Private Ryan would be on there, Tommy Boy, Clerks, Kids.
Clerks. God, I hated that movie.
No, you didn't.
That movie was
Clerks.
so whack.
Kids, anyone who loves cult movies knows what Kids is.
Oh, I don't know about that, bro. That movie was depressing.
It was
All
depressing,
right.
but it's a great movie.
Oh no, man.
The director is weird
I'm
as
actually
hell.
feeling
and-
funny. You actually brought that up.
All right. The
That
director
movie
is
was-
super weird and probably needs to be beat up.
I
but
think we
the movie
watched
is
that
dope.
in high school as like sex education.
Yeah, you probably did.
That
but that's
was
what it's
weird.
about.
I don't
movie's
like that
dope.
movie.
That movie's dope. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't know.
Juice, Point Break,
Sad.
The Sandlot, Dogma, definitely.
Oh, you killing me.
Nothing But Trouble. I don't know if you remember Nothing But
The heck is
Trouble.
that?
That's the one with Chevy Chase when they got caught
That was a
like
good
in that.
movie.
Yeah, when they got caught like in that in the
That
South
was
or
a-
whatever,
that was a
and
good
Dan
movie.
Aykroyd was the judge and was like,
That a great
I
cast.
hate bankers.
All right.
Well, you know why it's on there, right? Because TUPAC was in it. Nah, but Chevy Chase is one of my favorite actors of all time. You all right?
Yeah.
Chevy Chase is one of my favorite
I
actors
do
of all
like Chevy
time,
Chase.
but the fact that Digital Underground was in the movie Dancing in the Courtroom, that was one of the best scenes in cinematic history. I don't care what anyone
What a
says.
weird movie.
It's super weird. That's the whole point. It's super like
had a
there's like
great
bones
cast.
and a machine
I'm
blowing
about
people
to
up
write
and
that
everything
down.
else.
I'm about to watch that.
All right, so Dogma, love it. It's not in the top 10. Toy Soldiers, I don't know if you remember that one. That's with Sean Astin where they like go to school at a boarding school or whatever, and it gets taken over by the terrorists, and they take over the school, and the kids get counted they let the kids like go outside, go to recess, whatever. The kids get counted it's like a military school, sorry, and the kids formulate the plot to like overthrow the terrorists. You don't remember that?
No.
Super dope. You gotta watch it.
Early 90s?
No, probably like mid 90s.
Toy soldiers.
Sean Astin. Who else was in it? The kid from Iron Eagle. I can't remember his name, but you got to look it up. If once you see it, you'll remember what I'm talking about. Toy soldiers is dope. I'm not talking about small soldiers, the ones with the little toys. I'm not talking about that. The ones with the toys that came alive. Nah, it ain't that, B. All right, so
I know it's like
couple more honorable mentions. Toy Soldiers, Billy Madison, The Matrix, Boys in the Hood, and Office Space. So those are my honorable mentions. So now to number 10.
Wait, do I get to do my honorable mentions?
Oh yeah. All right, yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me finish writing that down. Writing mine down.
All
right, because I mean some of ours are similar. All right, my honorable mentions: Ninja Turtles 2. All right.
Okay.
It was tight. All right. I don't care what anybody said. Ninja Turtles 2 was tight.
Casey Jones came in that one, I think, right? Wasn't that Casey Jones? Well, he wasn't in the first one. I thought he was in the second one.
Oh, he was in the first one.
Oh, he was?
He was in the first one.
Well, they introduced a new character in the second one. Who was in the second one? I'm going to have to look this up. All right, go ahead.
The second one had Vanilla Ice. Go Ninja. I don't care what I said. That soundtrack, that cassette tape soundtrack got me through.
He was in a movie.
First grade.
He was like in Ice Cold or something, another movie in the 90s that came out.
Can.
Of course it was. Vanilla Ice. What do you expect?
But Vanilla Ice was kind of cool. All right. I don't know if cool is the word.
All right. So
he was interesting.
Ninja Turtles 2.
I had Ninja Turtles 2, Point Break.
Yeah.
Now, I wanted to put Point Break.
I said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
was on yours.
yeah.
I'm a little surprised it wasn't in your top 10. I wanted to put it in my top 10.
So did I.
Have you seen the new one yet?
No.
Okay, I haven't watched it yet.
I'm going to wait till it comes on TV.
I
can't pay for that.
I'm not. Passenger 57.
All right. I should
Billy Madison.
Yep.
Happy Gilmore.
I was going to put that on there, but I didn't know when it released, and I didn't look it up.
I think it's 90 still.
I'm sure it is.
It has to be pretty close to that. Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that deserves to be
Juice, Office Space,
Yep.
Shawshank Redemption.
All right.
Now, I wanted to put Shawshank Redemption in my top 10. The only reason why I didn't was because I saw it in the theater, and back then it was just a crazy long movie, all right? And I think I was a little too young, but I remember feeling like super depressed that like Tim Robbins didn't do it, and he went to jail for all that time. It really shook me, and from certain movies bothered me. All right, like really made me feel different. Now, I'm gonna say, now you know what? God, I put Die Hard in my honorable mentions.
Damn, how did I not have that on there? I thought it came out in the 80s.
No, it didn't. It came out Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Oh, the second one.
The second one.
Yeah, the other one's in the 80s. You talking about the one with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. You almost worried me for a second.
No, not
the original
the
Die Hard
original.
in the 80s.
Was
all right,
in the
cool.
80s.
I was about to say, what?
I was going to put that in my... I don't know why. It definitely wasn't better than the first one, but I just like Samuel L. Jackson and Bruce Willis. I just thought they were good together.
It was good.
And then I have... Gosh, what's my other one? Home Alone 1. Okay. Those are my...
Yeah, I think I had Home Alone at the bottom.
All right, so those are in my honorable mentions. All right, so you want me to do my bottom 5 first?
Wait, hold on a second. So,
okay.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 was The Secret of the Ooze?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Casey Jones was in the first one because that was facts. He was in the first
one. The
Foot
Clan was in this one. All right.
Foot Clan was in the first one too.
Okay.
Remember they were like they were just bad kids and they hung out with
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. The only thing I can think of is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that just came out with what's her name? Hottie McHot. That's all I remember.
Not Lisa Leslie. What's her name? Not Amber Rose. Megan Fox. I never even saw that. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Never saw it.
I mean, I didn't go to the theater and see it, but yeah, I mean,
I've never seen it on TV.
It's entertaining.
I want to see
it on
the
HBO for
one.
a while or whatever.
I've never seen it on there.
I have been.
Damn, I gotta pay that $3.99. All right, so bottom 5 of mine. All right. Now this number 10 is probably one of the worst movies of all time. All right.
All right, let's hear it.
Showgirls.
I can't believe you put that on there.
The only reason why this is on there is because I would live for Saved by the Bell. And the fact that we get to see one of the girls on Saved by the Bell naked, I had to see it. I had to see it. I never tried so hard to see a movie. Never. I think I'm not even joking. I remember sitting on the couch with my mom watching Entertainment Tonight, and they were interviewing Elizabeth Berkley, and I had no idea.
I can't even remember you. I mean, I remembered her name, but I can't remember you remember her name. All the stuff about movies you don't even remember. All right. Well,
I remember them interviewing her in a strip club, and like, you sitting with your mom in a strip club. I think I might have been like, I don't know how old I was. It's already embarrassing, but I'm sitting there watching it, and she's talking about nudity is beautiful and yada yada yada. And I was sitting there thinking to myself, "Oh my gosh, Jesse Spano is going to be naked in this
Spano
movie."
Naked, huh? Couldn't take it.
Same thing with Demi Moore when she was in Striptease. I
yeah.
had to see that too. I had to.
I watched Striptease.
That movie sucked too. All right. I had to see
it. It was a terrible plot.
So
terribly acted for the most part.
Showgirls acting and plot
I didn't care about that movie.
Oh my God, it was awful. All right. That's the only reason why that's on my list.
Right.
Now this one might blow your mind because I know you have this pretty high. Pulp Fiction.
Well, we'll find out when I get to mine.
It's
on the list somewhere.
I have Pulp Fiction at number 9. I thought it was a great movie. This is another movie I originally saw, like when it originally came out. All right, I saw a lot of movies with my dad that I probably shouldn't have saw when I was a certain age.
Yeah,
because he wanted to see them, but he had me, so he had no choice but to take me. So I think it was a bit much for me at the time, but like as I got older and seeing it, it became great. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was very well put together. I thought it was a little extreme with Ving Rhames in there being like getting smashed by them two homeboys. It was a bit much. All right. But I do think,
gimp.
and I think it was a lot of that's what with Quentin Tarantino movies is, a lot of unnecessary violence. When John Travolta and Samuel Jackson are driving in that car and he accidentally shoots homeboy in the backseat. What was it? Wasn't even necessary. Like blood everywhere.
The whole scene after that where they go to clean the car, but Quentin Tarantino's house might be the best scene in the entire movie. So yes, it mattered that happened.
But that was like anything. Like okay, if they would have intentionally killed them, it would have. They accidentally killed them, arguing.
You're gonna make me move this movie up higher on my list while we're sitting here talking about it because
number 8, Boys in the Hood. Okay.
That was number 12 on my list, so just barely outside the top 10.
I have Boys in the Hood on there because I thought that was the first time. I think that might have been the first movie I watched with a rapper that I can remember with a rapper acting and did a great job.
Cube.
The movie was well put together. I was obviously probably too young to be watching that as well. It was a little bit much, but I liked knowing the areas. I'm from LA. I like just knowing the areas.
I think one of the best scenes, and definitely relevant now, one of the best scenes in cinematic history is when Lawrence Fishburne takes Ricky and what was Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character's name? Trey and Ricky, when he takes them to Compton and they go and look at that billboard, and it was about basically gentrification. So I think that's one of the greatest scenes in movie history, and definitely relevant today based on, number one, the elections going on, income inequality, you name it. So, I mean, I watched Boys in the Hood probably 2-3 weeks ago, and I was like completely, totally forgot about that scene, mesmerized.
I remember that was a great scene. I remember like other people came walking up.
Yeah.
Like that was a great scene.
Cats from Compton were like, "What are you doing in my neighborhood? You from South Central?"
I think that was probably I think that might have been Lawrence Fishburne's best acting in a movie, I think.
Best acting in a movie was The Matrix, but that's all right.
Okay.
I already said The Matrix, so I can bring it up.
But that was not his best acting in a movie.
Okay, I'm joking.
I'm gonna say.
Take it easy.
I don't know if anybody
Deep Cover, like he's been in a lot of good movies where he was the actor.
Number 7, House Party. Okay.
All right.
Now I have House Party on there.
I probably should have had it on my honorable mention because it was definitely one of my favorite movies at the time.
And it wasn't like necessarily like a great movie.
Talking about the one with
Kid and Play.
Yes, I know Kid and Play. I was like, you talking about the one with Marcus? What's the name?
Ooh.
When they had the little kids on there. What was that? The third one?
You talking about IMX or Immature?
Yeah, IMX. And Marcus.
One of the worst movies on ever. Marcus Houston.
Yep.
I have that on there because they were just cool. It was just cool. Like It wasn't
Yeah,
like
they had the dance scripted,
violence,
and
the dance in the party. They were just trying to figure out how to party.
and
Martin
Martin was in
Lawrence
it,
was
yeah.
a DJ. You had Tisha
Switch.
Campbell. Yeah, Tisha Campbell and Martin before they were Martin and Gina. It was just dope. Like, it was just a fun, dope movie. And, like, Kid was just recognizable with the flat top. Like, it was just a dope movie. Like, I just remember that. And then I have number 6, which I was shocked was in your honorable mention, is The Sandlot. All right.
Absolutely. Come on now.
The Sandlot.
Killing me, Smalls.
I mean, if I really had this, I almost would have wanted to put this number 1. I mean, very quotable.
I thought about it. Should have been.
Thought about it.
It should have been in the top 10. But then when I was making my top 10, I thought about, like I said, stuff that comes on, and I watch it when it's on TV, regardless.
See, and I say that I think those are like, I think that's like a separate list of like movies, because a lot of those movies that I can sit and watch, they're pretty bad. Like,
Yeah,
they're
but you
not-
put an awful movie in your top 10. So it
Which
doesn't matter.
one?
Showgirls. You said it was awful.
Okay,
I mean,
that's different. All right.
my top 10 is all good movies. It's not bad movies. I mean, it's like iconic movies that for me, when they come on, I watch it. I'm not talking about like the Wesley Snipes movie where he's like was wearing a parachute or whatever, the one we were talking about. Passenger
I'll watch
57,
that.
yes,
I'll watch
absolutely.
it anytime it goes on.
Did Murder at 1600 come out in the 90s? Because I probably should
Had
have
been
put that
90s.
on my. I should have put that on my.
So, I mean, it was a great movie. I could watch anytime.
Wesley Snipes. Come on.
Anything
Wesley Snipes shouted to sneak this out, by the way.
Facts,
In
all
case
right.
people didn't notice.
liked
On
one
Twitter.
of our comments on Twitter. Shout out to Wesley Snipes. All right, the God. All right, but I do have The Sandlot, quotable, very well put together. Considering like it was one of those movies that like
I don't remember too many scenes in there, but I do remember some
I remember
scene. I need to watch it
every
again.
single thing about it. The fact that like I think that might have been a movie that had the best acting kids ever. They collectively, they were.
I mean, a lot of them are still around today acting.
right.
The redhead
they-
kids still around doing
But you
stuff.
thought they were really friends in that neighborhood. Remember Smalls moved into the neighborhood. Like everyone had that feeling of the new kid, and you go outside and play, and you're nervous, and then like you just hijinks. Like it was just
Yeah.
one of those great movies. All right, like I just love that movie. The commentary, like how it was like the voiceover, like giving commentary over the movie. Smalls was like
yeah.
great. All right,
The Dodgers scene at the end ties it all together. That he
just
played
a
for the
great
Dodgers.
movie. All right. I mean, I feel like watching that now. All right. Now they did have like a Sandlot 2 and 3 and all that, and they were trash cans. But nothing. It might have been the best kid movie ever. All right.
All
So
right.
that's my bottom
Number
5.
6.
Just to go over it again.
Did you say 6?
That was my.
I thought that was 7. Oh, maybe it was 6.
That was 6.
All right.
All right. So wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Showgirls number 10. Pulp Fiction number 9. Boys in the Hood number 8. House Party number 7. And Sandlot number 6.
All right. Number 10, Reservoir Dogs.
I thought about putting that
Reservoir
on there, and I
Dogs,
probably should have put that in
definitely.
my.
The characters
Honorable
named
mentions.
after colors.
I should've.
No one knows each other's name.
That was a great.
They
movie.
all drive to the restaurant
That
and
was
to
a
the
tight movie,
thing in their own cars. I mean, so many dope things about that
I watch
movie.
that all the time when it comes on.
Michael Mann. I think it's Michael Mann. Michael Madsen. Maybe it's Michael
Madsen. I
Madsen.
think it's
Yeah.
Madsen.
Michael Mann's the director, I think. Michael Madsen doing the whole thing with the cop cutting his ear off. Crazy. Never
That
seen
was
anything
tight.
like that in the movie. Like, what the heck's going on? And then you realize the one who shot on the ground is a cop.
I was tired.
Crazy. Steve Buscemi probably hit one of his best roles. He's done a lot of good roles, but
I do like him. He's always great.
a number of reasons why that's on there. Number 9,
Come on, 98.
The Usual Suspects. Oh no, Reservoir Dogs was like 94. That was early because that was
The
before
Usual
Pulp Fiction, I
Suspect
think.
was after Reservoir Dogs, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't done by
Great movie.
Tarantino.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Kaiser Soze. I mean, you can't even say too many things about it. It's just
It was a great movie.
telling a story throughout the movie in the police station, and then it's him. You know what I mean?
That.
By the way, if anyone's listening to this and hasn't seen these movies, sorry to ruin some of the stuff for you, but you need to go see them
yeah.
because these are old.
Might
all
be
right?
some spoiler alerts, all right?
Yes.
But these are old movies, so there's
one
obviously-
big spoiler alert.
So obviously these movies are, we're older than maybe some of our listeners, all right? But you need to check these movies out.
Number
all right?
8, I don't know if you've seen it or if you remember. Hopefully you've seen it because it is a classic cult movie. Leon the Professional. You remember The Professional?
Oh, with the girl he was protecting?
Yeah, it
Yes,
was.
that movie was great.
Yes, it was what's her name's first movie, I'm pretty sure.
Not Heidi Klum.
No, the one
I know who you're
from
talking
Star
about.
Wars. not this most recent Star Wars, but the 3 before that. She's from Israel.
Can't think of her name. She was a little girl.
Yeah, I'll think of it at some point. But
Great movie.
Leon the Professional, that was number 8.
Had his glasses.
Fantastic. The girl,
Sunglasses.
the little girl's family is killed. He's a professional hitman. She wants to learn how to clean. You know, he shows her how to be an adult, go buy groceries.
And that was the one in that where like that one scene where he was like hanging over the door hinge.
Yeah, the man walked
tight.
in and he closed the door. Yeah,
that was tight. Love that movie.
Yes, Leon the Professional.
That was a good movie.
Love it. All right, number 7, Rounders. I don't know how many times you've seen Rounders.
Your list is nothing like I thought it was going to be. At all.
What'd you think I was going to have on there? Like a bunch of sports movies or something?
No, I don't know. I thought it was going to be. Actually, I don't know.
There might be some other stuff on there.
I think a lot of your movies I thought you were going to have your list or your honorable mentions.
I named already?
I think they were in your honorable mentions.
So Rounders, gotta love it. I mean, it was the introduction for a lot of people to like the World Series of Poker or whatever else. Probably one of the best acted movies I've ever seen in my life.
Who was in that?
Matt Damon, Edward Norton.
That was a good movie.
John Turturro.
I think that was Edward Norton's second best movie.
Dynamite. He's been in a lot of good movies, but Rounders, Dynamite.
He's kind of underrated.
Number 6, you might have this in your top 5. You should have it in the top 5 is what I'm going to say. This is number 6 for me. White Men Can't Jump. No reason. Don't even need to say anything.
I didn't have it in there, and I was going to, but White Man Can't Jump is kind of a bad movie. It's just tight to us.
I don't think so. I mean, well, that's what this is. I mean, this is iconic movies to me when I was growing up.
Right. No, you're right.
No, White Man Can't Jump deserves to be in there, though. What?
It should have. I should have at least.
Rosie Perez going on Jeopardy. He's trying to get away from
that movie was so.
He's trying to get away from the gang. Yeah, it was trying to get away from the gang members. They take pictures to make it look like they actually killed him. In the end, he actually loses the girl, which doesn't happen in many movies because normally it's a happy ending for everyone. You know what I mean? Billy Ho loses his girl in the end. So
he actually did, and I was so upset. And let me tell you something.
That last game, man, I was rooting for that like it was a real game. Like when they played Duckett, whatever his name was.
We love Wesley Snipes on the sneak disc, okay? Yes. But when he took homeboy money and hustled him,
you were upset.
I was so mad because Billy had no idea. Billy's like, went to the house, they watching the game, the cats that hustled him in the house, the wife is basically like, hey man, you know, it is what it is. We need to get out this neighborhood. Like, I felt so bad for him. And like, yeah, Rosie Perez was fine.
Like, you ain't getting the money back.
Rosie Perez was fine. He just couldn't keep her. He couldn't keep her. He wanted to, but he just couldn't keep her. All right. So what else you got?
That's number 6. So to recap, 10, Reservoir Dogs, Usual Suspects. 9, Leon the Professional. Really, it's probably just called The Professional, but his character's name is Leon. And when I looked it up, I saw some things where it said Leon the Professional, but really it's just called The Professional, at least from what I remember. Rounders 7, White Man Can't Jump 6.
All right. Oh, that's what it was.
I think I forgot to put one in here too, but I'm gonna actually. You know what? Let me look this up before I mention it with the honorable mentions because this definitely should have been mentioned. It's going to give a hint away for what's not in my top 5.
I'm going to do slash. You can do a slash if you want. I'm going to do like these two are a tie.
Okay.
For me. All right. Number 5. Casino / Goodfellas.
I knew you were going to do that.
All right. I just love mobster movies. One.
Oh, it came out in the 80s. All right, never
mind.
But
it was those movies were just great because like they were always tense. Every single scene was tense. Any movie with De Niro and anything with Joe Pesci in it, and they're wearing a suit, and they're constantly, it's like, oh crap, you know something is gonna happen every single time. Like there's just unpredictable characters. I thought Casino was well shot. I thought everybody did great acting. Casino was a movie that like I actually bought like a box set. Like I have like this special limited edition box. One of my favorite movies of all time. I had to convince my wife to watch it. She had never seen it before, but it was like almost 3 hours. So it was really hard to sit down and watch it, but love that movie. Goodfellas.
Joe Pesci dies in both of them.
He does. I was really upset how he died in which one did he die when they took him to the cornfield?
That's Casino.
Casino. Sure. Okay. I was really upset with. Oh yeah, and then in Goodfellas, he died when he thought he was gonna be a made man.
He got shot, I think, in the back of the head. Yeah. Like walking out to the parking lot or something.
He was no. He was going to like a house to be like a made man, and he had his suit on, and he was really excited, and he was like going in, and he walked in the room, and I think
and
they
then he
shot
walked
him.
behind and shot him.
Shot him in
Yeah.
the back of the head. Love that movie, but main actor.
Yeah, that cornfield scene was pretty bad.
that was bad.
Watching that,
I was like,
first they beat his
man.
brother up. Yeah, that's
Um,
bad.
lead actor in Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. Well, Ray Liotta's
Ray
in
Liotta.
it.
Love him.
De Niro's in both of them, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's in. I love Ray Liotta. Now he only does what? Tequila commercials.
He's in that show with Jennifer Lopez on
Oh,
ABC.
you watched that? Shades of Blue.
No, but
NBC.
it's like after a show that I recorded, and at the end it'll go
Blacklist.
into that
It's
one.
after
Is that what it is?
yeah.
Blacklist?
I
All right, so
recorded it, but
NBC.
then I deleted it. I was like, I don't got time to watch that. Number 4.
I mean, it's a show that should be on HBO. If it's Ray Liotta and Jennifer Lopez, it should be with you should allow cussing. How can you have Ray Liotta and not
But
have
you
a
think
cussing show?
every single show should be on. If you,
I
if
just
you
don't like
it,
censor stuff.
If you like the show on regular
Ray
network,
Liotta
you
should
think
be
it
like
on
hitting. He should be doing all drugs, all kinds of stuff. I mean,
that.
if
He's
he's
kind of
like
old
that,
now.
he's like a
I do
bad cop
agree.
though. You know what I mean? Like he should be doing all kinds of
let's
stuff.
put it this way: it should at least be on FX. All right, FX allows a lot more. I think at least on FX.
All right.
I'll say that. Number 4, The Sixth Sense.
All right.
I
can
have
see
The
it.
Sixth
I didn't
Sense
have it on there. It's not iconic to me, but I liked it. It was a good movie.
And I thought it was a great movie, and I only look at it as iconic because typically when I look at a movie, I don't get surprised. Like I was surprised the plot twist of that movie when it was that Bruce Willis was the dead one, bruh. I remember the movie theater going, like I remember, like no idea, had no idea he was dead. I was so shocked. I mean, we walked out the theater like
M. Night Shyamalan did some good movies.
He
Unbreakable.
did.
I don't know if you remember Unbreakable. Unbreakable was
really
great
good.
too.
Unbreakable was good. I thought
He also did some
Signs was good.
Awful movies after that. But
Woo, Lady in the Water, top 3 worst movie of all time for me. But yeah, when they revealed that Bruce Willis was the dead one, I had never felt like that after a movie. Like oh my! Like, went back and saw it again at the theater. That might be one of the only I've only probably seen maybe 5 movies I gone back to the theater and paid for again, and that was one of them. Number 3, Home Alone 2.
all right,
I have Home Alone 2 in there
Alone in New York.
because Lost in New York.
Whatever it
Get
is.
it correct.
Same thing.
I only have that in there because the concept of Home Alone 1, that's a very difficult concept to make great as they did. Everyone's always imagined being left somewhere or lost somewhere, but they did a really good job with it. The acting was great. The scenery was great. It was in the wintertime. And how he was left, it was actually kind of I could see that happening. Now, I don't know how long you could go without realizing it wasn't there. Now, to do a sequel.
Those are the worst parents ever, though. That's all I gotta say.
Facts. To do a sequel with the
And
same
make it,
concept and to make it
more
that
creative,
good.
Yeah.
And I remember always being in LAX with my mom and dad. And this is when, before 9/11.
Well, now you can't get on the wrong plane.
Right.
But
Now, this is before 9/11, obviously, when, it didn't matter. You get to the airport, you could walk to the gate and drop somebody off at the gate. It easily could be wandering off and get lost. I got lost in LAX twice as a kid. And I remember
LAX is pretty big. Yeah.
I remember I got lost. The first time I got lost, one of the people found me and they gave me a bear and I sat down. And I don't know how they got my dad. They found my dad and he came and got me. Second time, I got lost and I just literally sprinted and ran as fast as I possibly could until I found somebody. That happened to me at Disneyland too.
We didn't
I just
even
run as fast as possible.
We didn't even go to LAX when I was growing up there. We on purpose went to Ontario because of how chaos
Stayed
LAX
in LAX.
was.
Always in LAX. And I was
We always went to Ontario.
the fact that Home Alone 2 did the exact same concept and made it real. I mean, it was a little unrealistic, him credit cards and hotels and all that.
Yeah.
But it was a great
I watched it
put-together
not too
movie.
long ago when they do that scene where he walks in the room and he plays that his
yeah.
uncle on that recorder. That's pretty good.
Hey,
you little jerk!
I go watch that anytime. Number 2, I did Titanic. I did Titanic only because.
Dang, I didn't expect any of these movies to be on your
And
list.
see, I did Titanic. Titanic is another movie I could sit and watch anytime because.
God, I hate that movie.
See, you do?
I hate Titanic.
Why?
I mean, I don't hate it, but I just
I only like it because I like those historical type events.
Yeah.
Like something about them back in the day.
It's
like
corny to me.
this
guess.
is gonna be the greatest boat ever.
Like when he stands on the thing as the king of the world.
Okay, that's corny
Corn,
stuff.
Corn,
like
all right.
typically,
Spilling.
now I'll admit, I've seen it so many times from beginning to end. Now I pretty much once they hit that iceberg is where I started. That's where it gets to real. I'm not even joking. Once that iceberg gets touched, then I'm like, all right, let's watch this now. All right, all that
it becomes an
hanging
action
on the
movie.
boat and Peyton, what's her name, butt naked and all that. I don't need all that. All right, I don't need all that. Show me how tight the boat is. Everybody cocky and they think this is the tightest thing on earth. They got tuxedos on. Boy, when that boat broke in half and flipped up, they were shook.
They thought it was no way that thing could get. All right.
Love it.
Drum roll. Brrr, boing.
Number 1. All right. The Matrix.
All right. I'm down with it.
Now,
I had it on honorable mention, and I actually should have had it in. Well, let's see. Matrix was 13 on my list. I probably should have had it in top 10.
Now, this is why I have the Matrix in.
That's why it's too hard.
That was hard. It was really hard to pick. Like, there's movies that aren't even on here in our honorable mentions and things like that. Matrix is number 1 for me because I almost didn't see it. The reason why I saw it was because my mom's friend was working and we got dropped off at the theater.
When the movie came out, everyone was like mind blown. Like, oh my God, this Matrix is real?
I never even saw a commercial.
Started looking at people next to you like they're aliens and shit.
I never saw a commercial for it. Our movie finished. We saw Go with Omar Epps and somebody else.
That was a dope movie too.
I thought that was a dope movie because
not Omar Epps. Tay Diggs.
Was it Tay Diggs?
Yeah,
and that was the movie where like it showed from everybody's point of view, right?
Yeah, they do a flash. Like they went to Vegas.
It was like
and they went to the strip club and
10 minutes was like his point of view. 10 minutes was like her point of view. Then like
but you're talking about when they went to Vegas and strip club and said they gave like the fake credit card and stole the Lamborghini or the Ferrari. Yeah, that's Tay Diggs.
That was tight. So then
I thought about putting that in here too.
I thought about it
because that was a '90s movie.
That movie ended, and we were like, "Crap!" Like your mom's not getting off work for like another 3 hours. We snuck in we just like, let's go in here. The theater was packed. We had to sit in the second row.
Yeah, no, thank you.
We had to sit in the second row. We had no choice. Like that was the only movie that had just started. We sat in the second row. One of the most amazing things I'd ever witnessed. The effects in that movie, groundbreaking, and are still used in shows today.
Well, there's still a meme that exists today about not taking the wrong pill. I don't know how there's a meme from like 20 years ago.
That movie, the movie itself wasn't like the best. Like, honestly, I couldn't even tell you what it's about.
I don't know. It was pretty dope.
It was a dope movie, but honestly, like the plot. And then especially once it got to like Matrix 2 and Revolution and all that, it got
when
wild.
The like designer and all that comes in and they start interviewing, like Oracle, a lot of that stuff just went over my head. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
But the visual aspect of it, the bullets flying, the 360 movement of the camera. I was just watching a show on Cinemax the other day. I was watching Power, catching up on the DVR. They had
I was about to say that didn't start already, did it? It
starts in July.
Oh, all right, because I haven't set the DVR up yet.
I just finished last season. There was a scene where they're cutting up dope. They're cutting up cocaine, and the camera did the 360 thing. I'm like, people are still using this from the Matrix.
You know what movie used that?
What?
Besides the Matrix? Swordfish.
Love that movie.
Use that 360 camera.
Was that a 90s movie?
I'm pretty sure 99.
No, it has to be in 2000.
I'm look it up.
I watched that
maybe
movie.
2001.
I hope so. When we get to the 2000s,
that's got to be in 2000s.
I watched that. I was in college when it was. Yeah, it was 2000. It was 2000.
2001.
Because I watched it on my laptop every single day I worked when I had this one job. Loved it.
Yeah, 2001.
Loved that movie.
All right. Yeah, I watched that anytime it's on television.
All right. So real quick.
Recap.
Casino / Goodfellas.
All right.
6th Sense.
Yep.
Home Alone 2.
Yep.
Titanic. The Matrix.
Hell no on Titanic. Matrix, absolutely.
Titanic was a great movie.
I'm not saying it's not a good movie. It's just not iconic.
I mean, they had the record for movies like of earnings forever. All right, like it was great. But that was corny. It was corny because we're guys.
When I get to number 3, you're going to be upset. You don't have it on the list.
I think I would.
You're going to be upset.
Let's go.
All right, so number 5, Pulp Fiction. We already talked about it. You have it on your list. Number 9, I think. Yep. Pulp Fiction, number 5. I wanted to put it higher. It probably could be number 1, but it's not because you know what? Actually, you're going to be upset when I get to number 2 and you don't have number 2 on your list, too. Number 4, you're going to think this movie came out in the 80s, but it did not. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Bingo, bango, one of my favorite movies of all time, period. Watch it every single time it's on TV.
I will admit
Dishes are done, man.
I will say I watched that probably about 5,000 times.
Great movie.
I don't
Great
think I
movie.
would have even thought, and I think I probably thought 88 or something like that.
Yep.
What year was it? It had to be 90.
91.
Okay,
Yeah.
it barely.
And the one I was going to put that I was mad I didn't put in the top 5 that I had to go back and look up is a similar movie, and that was Adventures in Babysitting.
Love that movie.
That came out in 87, so that does not go on this one.
Love that movie.
Yes.
When
Elizabeth Shue.
When Homeboy threw that knife on his shoe and it hit the subway. Love that movie.
Yes. Dope movie. Okay, so Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Number 4, really don't even have to say too much about it. Dope movie. Number 3, you're going to be upset you don't have this in here. Friday. I don't know how you didn't put Friday in there.
Honorable mentions. And I thought about it. It's not a...
Friday
it's
was one of the funniest movies of all time.
And I should have, but like I looked at it and I was just kind of like...
Bro, when it comes on TV, I watch it. Ezel taking dumps in people's yards and stuff and stealing
funny,
clothes.
TV, I don't think I like watching it anymore.
I do.
Not like it's bad.
Oh, you probably like
I
Mike
don't
Epps
know
better.
why.
Like you like Mike Epps better than Chris Tucker now, or what?
No, I don't.
What is going on here?
Keep going.
Studio's burning down. All right, number 2. I'm surprised you're not mad about number 3. Number 2, Heat. And I
actually thought about doing Heat.
And I don't mean sneakers. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, first movie they've ever been in. Perfect plot, perfect everything.
Awesome.
Everything about the movie was perfect. The North Hollywood bank robbery shootout, I don't know if it was before or after that movie. I can't remember. I probably should look it up. But I remember watching on live news the North Hollywood bank robbery shootout happening, which was people said was kind of like the scene in Heat. Heat has no flaws, none. I mean, the cast, incredible, writing, everything.
I thought about putting it on there, but you know what?
Tom Sizemore doing crazy stuff.
I watch that every single time it comes on too.
Exactly. When they first got the armored truck to pull over at the very beginning, and they got that Wangro, and Wangro's like he was gonna make a move on me and shot him.
That was a great movie. I have that
Fire
on DVD.
Flames.
I actually have that on DVD.
Yeah, so do I.
I don't own a lot of DVDs.
And you already know what number 1 is because you said it the other day. The Big Lebowski, probably the greatest Coen brothers. And that's saying something because the Coen brothers have at least the greatest Coen brothers movie to me. The Coen brothers have made maybe more good movies over the last 20 years than anyone. Fargo, No Country for Old Men. I mean, you can go down the list and name it.
Fargo in there. Fargo is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Fargo's a great movie. I'm upset that it wasn't on my list, but Big Lebowski, I don't even need to talk about it. Big Lebowski is the greatest movie of the. It might be my favorite movie of all time. That and Top Gun is probably 1 and 2, and Top Gun for a different reason because I was a kid when that came out, and
the music from Top Gun
just
is iconic.
Yeah, music was dope. Movie about jet fighting.
Big
Lebowski I first saw. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch it in 98 when it came out. The first time I saw it was like in 2001 when I was in college. And I think that's probably why I love it so much because just an incredible cult movie, period.
I think the Big Lebowski.
That's the best character in movie in cinematic history. The dude.
He is considered, I think I've seen something.
There's like
he's considered
conferences that people go to that. Like, what's the one?
I think I need to watch it again.
San Diego Comic Con. There's like things like that just for the dude.
I think I might have watched that one time. Like, I think I've only seen it one time.
Incredible.
I remember like most of the scenes. I mean, wore a robe, a majority of the movie. Like, I think I would have to agree with that. And I probably should have had that somewhere on there. But I think I've only seen it once. So like, I can honestly say I don't remember like a ton about it. I just remember like certain scenes. Woody Harrelson was in that too, right? John Goodman?
John Goodman was definitely in it. Yeah, John Goodman is definitely his part's one of the best parts.
I love John Goodman.
Steve Buscemi, John Turturro. The Coen brothers use a lot of the same actors over and over again. Yeah, they use John Turturro and everything. But I don't think Woody Harrelson was in. You're probably thinking of Kingpin.
Thinking of Kingpin.
He was in Kingpin. And Kingpin's a great movie too.
Kingpin's a great movie.
But that's it. So recap: 5, Pulp Fiction. Doesn't need to even have any words said. Possibly the best cinematic movie, period, in the 90s. Very possibly. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. 4, Friday. 3, Heat. 2, The Big Lebowski, number 1, numero uno.
That's the list.
Talk about it.
And if you guys haven't seen any of those movies, you need to go see them. Y'all talk about Netflix and chill. Y'all need to go back, all right, and watch the movies. All this stuff that comes out now, nonsense, all right. Well, not everything, but go back and watch some classics and look at some histories, all right. These are movies that, like, when the credits came on, there wasn't nothing after it. That was it. All right?
Well, we do love Marvel movies, so I'm not going to hate on the scenes
I'm
after
definitely
the
going to
credits.
see Captain America.
Yeah,
probably
me
Sunday.
too.
I'm going to actually go see that. Like, I didn't move for Batman Superman, but I'm going to see Captain America.
I refuse to see that in the theater.
I do too.
But when it comes out,
I'm not going to.
Oh,
And
I thought you meant you didn't move when it came on the screen. You were watching it.
Oh, no.
You mean you didn't
I
go.
didn't even move out my
Oh,
seat.
I got you.
But, like, a good friend of mine is, like, the biggest Superman fan on earth. And he even told me, you don't have to go see it. He's like, see it, but you don't have to go see it.
Yeah.
I said, cool. If you say that, then I'm not going to see it.
Red Box. You're the homie.
Anyways, as always, appreciate the listeners. Listeners, iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, so forth, on the website, thesneakdisc.com. And that's the Sneak Disc.